Morgan, if you didn't like the blood of Hercules, why did you even bother with the bonds of Hercules? To make a long story short, I wanted to see if there was any improvement between book 1 and book 2. I wanted to see if Alexis's hearing disability and her visual impairment were better described in book 2 than they were in book 1. And I will say, objectively, book 2 is leaps and bounds better than book 1. Jasmine Mast did such an amazing job on the Bonds of Hercules. She should be proud. It is because of this book that I believe she will be one of the most prolific authors to ever come out of TikTok. Like, it's a good book. However, Alexis's description of her hearing impairment and her visual impairment are still not up to par to what they should have been in the first place. And what I mean by that is, while I was reading both of these books, there were periods of time where I felt like Jasmine Mast forgot that she gave Alexis a hearing disability and a visual impairment, because there are some scenes that Alexis describes to us in these books that she should not have been able to describe to the level of which she did with her visual impairment and her hearing impairment. Okay, it's almost like Jasmine kind of forgot that Alexis was not able-bodied. And I will say that I feel like Jasmine had to bounce around between several different point of views within these books, because she did not have the skill level to write Alexis's point of view consistently throughout both of these books without using the other characters as a crutch. I am all for disabilities being represented within media, especially books, because I love reading books. However, I do not feel like Jasmine Mast had the skill level to write a main character with a visual impairment and a hearing impairment. She didn't have the skill level to write it when she did. And I feel like give her 2-3 more books, she would have done it much better than she did here. And my problem with all of this is that, as somebody who was once a part of the deaf community or the hearing impaired community, my dream is to write a book one day with the main character having a hearing impairment, because that means a lot to me. However, I can acknowledge, as somebody who is writing their debut novel, that I do not yet have the skill level to write a main character with a hearing disability. All right. I don't have the skill level to write a character that would accurately and thoroughly represent the community that I was once a part of. And I can acknowledge that, because I'm human enough to admit that I am not ready for that yet. And that is what Jasmine Mast should have done in this case. She wasn't ready for that yet. And it's a poor representation of the community that I was once a part of. And that is what frustrates me.